LeBron isn't just returning to the spotlight, he's taking over the NBA schedule. Knicks on opening night, Lakers on Christmas. But the biggest shock? The league may have built its biggest stage around a 41-year-old king.
The reigning champion New York Knicks have 34 nationally televised games. Joining them with 34 are Luka's Lakers, LeBron's 76ers, Wemby's Spurs, and coming in with 30 are SGA's Thunder. All 30 teams have at least 2 national TV games this season. The Knicks, Lakers, Sixers, and Spurs will all play 13 games on the ESPN family of networks. And it's not a shocker, these 4 teams have the shortest odds to win the title. The Spurs and Thunder are the favorites to win it all, followed by the reigning champion Knicks and LeBron with the new-look Sixers. We start with the Thunder coming off back-to-back 60-plus win seasons. OKC has the easiest strength of schedule in the league next season. The last team to win 60 games in 3 straight seasons, the Warriors from 2014 to 2017. These Thunder could be next. As for the team who knocked off the Thunder, the Spurs have 94 days of rest slated for next season. That is tied for the most among any team's schedule. Of course, that could help in keeping Wemby fresh. The reigning champion Knicks beat the Spurs to end that 53-year title drought and are rewarded with a really good slate. New York is tied for the fewest road games on the second night of back-to-backs. They only have 5. That is massive. And the team in the East many see as the Knicks' biggest competition this season, of course, Philly. The Sixers added LeBron James and Jaylen Brown and have the fewest amount of stretches with 3 games in 4 nights. Something that could help a soon-to-be 42-year-old King James and Joel Embiid. All right, now welcoming our excellent panel. We've got Ramona Shelburne, we've got Tim McMahon. Of course, I'm Vanessa Richardson filling in today for Malika Andrews. I know a lot of folks are at home right now looking at their respective team schedule, digesting it all. But when you take inventory, as we've all now seen it, what stands out, Ramona?
I mean, I always look at where the defending champs are when they get their rings. And if I'm New York, I'm a little annoyed.
Yeah.
Because I'm at Madison Square Garden getting my rings, and the story is going to be LeBron James and the Sixers. Like, can they just have their night? Can they get their rings?
Just give us one night.
Everyone's going to be talking about pregame. No one's going to say, how's it feeling to get your rings, Jalen and Carl and OG? No, they're going to be like, what do you think of LeBron and Philly? Come on, can they have one night?
Well, let me just tell you something. The league is still driven by LeBron James, and this schedule makes that clear. Like you said, from opening night through the rest of the season with the national TV appearances, and you mentioned fewest 3 games and 4-night stretches, tied for the fewest back-to-backs, no stretches of 5 games and 7 nights, only a handful of teams to have that. The league office sure did not hold it against LeBron for making him wait to put this schedule together. This is favorable because they want a healthy LeBron because, let's be honest, LeBron James is good for business, has been good for business for 24 years now, and, maybe 2 or 3 more.
He's back in the Eastern Conference, too, which means he can play in that early time slot.
Great point.
Oh, that's a big one. And I also thought LeBron on Christmas in L.A.
Yeah.
So he gets to be home with his kids. I mean, my goodness.
That's a nice present.
The back-to-back thing, though, the lack of back-to-backs is massive.
But that's only the surface. The schedule didn't just protect LeBron, it exposed something far bigger. And once you see who the NBA built its biggest nights around, the real shock begins.
When Shaq got old, when MJ got old, when Hakeem got old, when NBA guys get old, when bands get old. Usually when quarterbacks get old, they're just not as relevant. The most amazing thing about LeBron James isn't, as the NBA schedule is out. It's not that he averaged like 21, 6, and 7 last year. It's that the NBA has released their schedule, and the NBA's first game is LeBron against the Knicks, and the Christmas Day of note is LeBron against his former team, the Lakers. They weren't putting Wizards games on when MJ was with Washington. When Ewing was wearing a Raptors jersey, the NBA wasn't sitting around waiting to put the schedule out. Here's literally what Adam Silver said a week before LeBron signed with the Sixers.
All politics are local. The way I think about it is we have to finish up the schedule.
Right.
And where LeBron plays will affect the schedule. So I would like him to make his announcement already so we can finish the schedule, because as you might imagine, the teams are calling us, the networks are calling us, and everybody wants to lock in the schedule. But it will influence how we set the schedule, how we set opening week, Christmas Day, etc.
I mean, Rolling Stones, maybe Paul McCartney and LeBron. Relevant and viable to the end. Go look at old stars in sports. Like, we look at LeBron and say, oh, he's still a good player. Opens with the Knicks, Christmas against the Lakers. Those will be the two highest regular season NBA ratings games. Dude's going to be on Christmas Day for the 20th time. LeBron is so reliable on Christmas, he may team up with Rudolph next. Like, he's on Christmas averaging 27 a game the last 2 decades. So it's not just that he's a good player. They are like Miami. We said it. Miami was comfort. Cleveland was comfort. Golden State with his buddy Draymond was comfort. Philadelphia was contention. Third best odds. LeBron, the one thing he's never worried about, everybody's reaction to the team he chooses. He knew he'd get pushback in Miami. He knew people would look at him in Los Angeles and go, they're awful. You're just going for the brand. I mean, LeBron can't win. When he goes to the Lakers, they're awful. When he goes to Miami, well, you're just chasing rings. It's hard to chase anything when the league is waiting for you to make a decision. That doesn't feel like the chase to me. So LeBron against the Knicks in the opening night will be the second highest rated NBA regular season game. And I think LeBron against the Lakers on Christmas will be the highest rated regular season game. And you know that Laker game, he's going to be totally dialed in.
LeBron James isn't just returning to the spotlight. He may have just taken over the NBA schedule. Opening night, LeBron and the 76ers at Madison Square Garden against the reigning champion Knicks. Christmas Day, LeBron returns to Los Angeles to face the Lakers. And here's what makes this almost absurd. LeBron is 41 years old, yet the league has placed his new team at the absolute center of its biggest stages. The Knicks, Lakers, Sixers, and Spurs each have 34 nationally televised games, the maximum, while Oklahoma City follows with 30. All 30 teams get at least 2 national broadcasts, but only these 4 are being treated like the NBA's main attractions. And when you look at why these teams receive the spotlight, the schedule starts telling an even bigger story. The numbers aren't random. The Spurs and Thunder are among the favorites to win the championship. New York is the reigning champion, and Philadelphia suddenly has LeBron James and Jaylen Brown alongside Joel Embiid. Oklahoma City is coming off back-to-back 60-plus win seasons, and the Thunder enter next season with the league's easiest strength of schedule. The last team to win 60 games in 3 straight seasons? The Warriors from 2014 through 2017. San Antonio has 94 days of scheduled rest, tied for the most in the league. A huge advantage when your franchise centerpiece is Victor Wembanyama. And New York? Just 5 road games on the second night of back-to-backs, tied for the fewest. Then there's Philadelphia. The Sixers have among the fewest 3 games and 4-night stretches, fewest back-to-backs, and no 5 games and 7-night stretch. That is not just scheduling. That looks like protection. But protecting LeBron is only half the story, because the NBA didn't just give Philadelphia a comfortable schedule, it gave LeBron the biggest television windows. Put yourself in the Knicks' shoes. Madison Square Garden, championship banner, ring ceremony. This should be New York's night. Karl Anthony Towns, OG Anunoby, Jalen Brunson, the entire championship team should be standing in the spotlight. But instead, before the game even starts, every microphone is going to be pointed toward one question. What do you think about LeBron and Philadelphia? Can New York get one night? Just one? Because the defending champions may receive their rings, but the national conversation is going to be about the 41-year-old king walking into their building wearing a Sixers jersey. And if opening night feels disrespectful to the reigning champions, Christmas Day makes the message even louder. LeBron against the Lakers. In Los Angeles, on Christmas Day. That is the kind of matchup the NBA knows can dominate ratings. LeBron will be playing his 20th Christmas Day game, and over the last 2 decades, he has averaged roughly 27 points on Christmas. And there's another detail. He gets to return to Los Angeles during the holidays and be home with his kids. That's more than basketball.
That's television, nostalgia, history, and business.
Adam Silver basically admitted the league was waiting on LeBron's decision because where he played would affect opening week and Christmas Day. Think about that. The NBA schedule was waiting for one man. And that brings us to the uncomfortable truth the schedule makes almost impossible to ignore. When Shaq got old, the spotlight moved. When Michael Jordan got old, the spotlight moved. When Hakeem got old, the spotlight moved. Usually, when superstars age, the league gradually moves on. But LeBron? The league is still building around him. He isn't averaging 30 points anymore. He doesn't need to.
The real power is that after 24 years, he remains one of the NBA's safest bets for attention, ratings, and controversy.
Opening night against the Knicks. Christmas against the Lakers. 34 nationally televised games. And a schedule seemingly designed to keep him healthy enough to actually play in those moments. That's why this isn't simply about an aging superstar. It's about whether LeBron James has become bigger than the normal rules of the NBA spotlight. And on this schedule, the answer is brutally clear. The King is still driving the business.
Yo, mic check 1 to 2, -1, -2. Game over for this video, folks. Smash that like button, drop a comment, and subscribe to stay in the huddle for more. This is NFL Madness, bringing the heat and signing out.
LeBron James may be 41 years old, but the NBA is still treating him like one of the league's biggest superstars. The new schedule makes that impossible to ignore, with Philadelphia immediately placed in some of the most important games of the season. The Sixers also received a schedule that could benefit LeBron physically. With fewer back-to-backs and fewer brutal stretches, Philadelphia has a better opportunity to manage his minutes and keep him healthy. At this stage of his career, that could be more valuable than simply winning extra regular season games. Opening the season against the defending champion Knicks creates an enormous storyline. New York should be celebrating its championship in front of its home crowd, but LeBron's arrival in a Sixers uniform will dominate the attention. The Knicks may have earned the championship, but Philadelphia is bringing the biggest headline into Madison Square Garden. Then comes Christmas Day, when LeBron returns to Los Angeles to face his former team. That matchup has everything the NBA wants: a legendary player, his former franchise, a new contender, and one of the biggest television audiences of the season. It is difficult to imagine a more attractive, regular season storyline. The numbers surrounding the schedule make the situation even more impressive. The Knicks, Lakers, Sixers, and Spurs all receive 34 nationally televised games, while the Thunder get 30. These are random teams receiving extra exposure. They are teams expected to compete for the championship and generate major interest throughout the season. Ultimately, LeBron's influence is bigger than what he produces on the court. At an age when most superstars would already be retired, the NBA is still building its biggest nights around him. His move to Philadelphia has created another massive storyline, and whether he wins another championship or not, LeBron remains one of the league's most powerful attractions.